Sir Christopher Lee has died at the age of 93. He made his name in the era of the Hammer horror films, most famously playing Dracula. He also starred in The Wicker Man and as the Bond villain Scaramanga. In total, he made more than 250 films. Nick Hyam looks back at his career.
For years, Christopher Lee seemed to be in every British horror film, but one part in particular he made his own: Dracula, the vampire, a sinister hero.
A romantic, erotic, heroic, fascinating figure, highly dangerous, savage, but above all, which I think is the most important thing when you're playing characters of this kind, tormented, agonized, sad. What a ghastly fate to be immortal.
Christopher Lee was half English, half Italian. Mother was a Contessa. They said he was too tall and foreign-looking to become a film actor. That didn't stop him. This was the first British horror film in colour. But he disliked being typecast.
But that would have been ridiculously easy.
Hollywood offered a wider range of roles to sink his teeth into, like the James Bond villain Scaramanga.
My golden gun against your Walther PPK. Each of us with a 50-50 chance.
6 bullets to your 1.
I only need 1.
And make our blossoms fruit!
He made almost 300 screen appearances. His favourite, this pagan cult thriller. As so often, he combined an aristocratic manner with fiendish intent.
So you have come here for information?
And then, late in life, he found a whole new audience as Saruman in Lord of the Rings. He was in the Star Wars movies as well.
Save your pity and your mercy! I have no use for it!
The film industry honoured him while he was still alive to enjoy it.
I'm thankful that I don't follow in the steps of the great Stanley Kubrick, whose award was posthumous.
He was an imposing actor and one who knew perfectly well why he was famous. He called his memoirs tall, dark and gruesome.
The actor Sir Christopher Lee, who has died at the age of 93.
We're also being paid tonight to the veteran actor Sir Christopher Lee, who's died at the age of 93.
He was best known to an older generation as Dracula in the Hammer horror films, and to a younger one as the wizard Saruman in Lord of the Rings. Martha Fairley looks back at his life.
He was one of the great names of the Hammer Studios horror films. Sir Christopher Lee brought high drama to low-budget thrillers. He found fame in the 1950s as the creature in The Curse of Frankenstein, and perhaps most memorably as Dracula.
People associated with horror films tend to be underrated because people, for reasons I don't understand, have a low opinion of horror films. But in fact, he brought to those films an extraordinary presence. If you saw Christopher Lee on the screen, there was no mistake about it. He was a monolithic presence.
Born in London to a British Army colonel and an Italian aristocrat, Christopher Lee served with the Special Forces during the Second World War before making his first film in 1947.
What do they teach in that school? Ballet dancing?
With his tall, imposing figure and deep voice, he made a natural villain. He played assassin Francisco Scaramanga opposite Sir Roger Moore's James Bond in The Man with the Golden Gun.
To us, Mr. Bond, we are the best.
You know of what I speak, Gandalf.
He found a new generation of fans as the wizard Saruman in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and Count Dooku in the Star Wars prequels, continuing to do his own stunts and sword fights. In a career that spanned 6 decades, he made over 250 films. Sir Christopher was knighted in 2009 and honoured with BAFTA and British Film Institute fellowships. But he refused to retire and was preparing for his latest film role when he died in hospital on Sunday.